Hi everyone, I'm Amber Wellison, and welcome back to the channel. If you love stories where karma steps in at just the right time and gives someone exactly what they deserve, without anyone having to stoop to their level, this is going to be one of your favorites. It's a personal story. It happened to me and my husband, and it's a night that I will never forget. It all started when my sister-in-law tried to humiliate me in front of my entire family at my in-laws' wedding anniversary dinner. But what she didn't expect was that the entire thing would backfire right in her face. And the best part is, I didn't have to do anything. Karma and my wonderful mother-in-law handled it perfectly. Let me tell you the whole story. So first, a little background about me and the family. I didn't grow up rich. My parents were both teachers, and they worked hard just to give us a good life. I learned early to be responsible with money, to appreciate the little things, and to value people for who they are, not what they own. When I met my husband, I found out that his family was a lot more well-off than mine. His parents, Elizabeth and Robert, are self-made. They started with almost nothing. Elizabeth told me how in their early years of marriage, they could barely pay rent, and through a lot of hard work, they built a successful business in the hospitality industry. They now own several boutique hotels. They invested wisely, and they live very comfortably, but they're the kindest, most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. They never act arrogant or make people feel less than. In fact, they're the opposite. They go out of their way to treat everyone with respect. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law Madison is, well, not like that. Madison married a very wealthy attorney, and she absolutely loves showing off her lifestyle, designer clothes, luxury vacations, private clubs, expensive cars, the whole thing. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things. The problem is how she treats people who she thinks are beneath her, and from the moment I married into the family, I could feel it. Madison looked down on me. It started small, little comments. At a family barbecue once, she looked at my outfit and said, "Oh, that's such a cute dress. Very practical." Another time at Christmas, when I gave her a scarf that I had hand-knitted, she laughed and said, "Oh, wow, you made this? That's so quaint," always with that condescending tone. Like she was trying to be polite but really taking a jab. I never wanted to create tension in the family, so I would always just smile and let it go. But as time went on, it became obvious that Madison loved any opportunity to make me feel small, especially in front of others. And then came the night that everything changed. My in-laws were celebrating their 35th wedding anniversary.
They wanted to do something special, just close family, and take us all out for a beautiful dinner. Elizabeth and Robert love spending time with their children and their spouses, and they were so excited about this evening. They invited us to this ultra-exclusive French restaurant downtown. And of course, Madison insisted on being the one to help plan it. She picked one of the most expensive restaurants in the city, the kind of place with a Michelin star, where the tasting menu costs over $600 a person, not even counting the wine pairings. When I saw the menu online, I honestly felt a little sick. My husband and I are comfortable, but that level of spending on one dinner was way out of our usual life. But it was their anniversary, and it meant a lot to them, so we agreed. Even though I felt nervous about the whole thing, the night of the dinner, the restaurant was absolutely gorgeous. Crystal chandeliers, velvet seats, hushed atmosphere. Very old-school elegant. I had picked a simple, classy dress. Nothing designer, but it made me feel good. Madison, of course, showed up late, wearing a sparkling dress that probably cost more than my car, dripping in jewelry. She air-kissed everyone and immediately launched into stories about their latest trip to Europe, the yachts, the private beaches. And within 5 minutes, the little dig started. "Oh, Amber, I love how you keep things so natural. It's so refreshing in a way." Later, when I complimented the wine, she laughed and said, "You really should let us take you to Bordeaux sometime. You'll never look at American wine the same way again." I just smiled and focused on my in-laws. This was their night, and I wasn't going to let Madison ruin it. The meal was truly incredible. Course after course, tiny but delicious portions, rare wines, everything beautifully presented. I could tell Elizabeth and Robert were having a great time, reminiscing about their early days. I loved hearing their stories. How they worked so hard when they were young. How they built their life together. But as the evening went on, I started to get this odd feeling. Like something was coming. Madison kept glancing at me. This smug little smile on her face. Like she was waiting for something. And then, it happened. The waiter came over and discreetly placed the bill on the table. Inside one of those sleek leather folders. Madison, with a big flourish, reached for it. She opened it, glanced inside dramatically, and gasped. "Oh no, Jason, we forgot our wallets in the car. Can you believe that?" she said loudly, so everyone could hear. Then she turned to me and my husband, wide-eyed and innocent. "Would you two mind covering our portion? I'll transfer it to you first thing tomorrow. Promise." Now this wasn't just any dinner bill. After all the wine, the full tasting menu, tax, tip, the total came to nearly $180,000.
I froze. My heart started pounding. My husband's hand tightened on mine under the table. We both knew this was a setup. Madison had been planning this. She wanted to humiliate us, make us squirm, embarrass us in front of the family by forcing us to admit we couldn't pay. I opened my mouth, not even sure what I was going to say or what. And then the most amazing thing happened. My mother-in-law, Elizabeth, reached across the table, rested her hand gently on mine, and said so calmly, "Oh, Amber, sweetheart, don't worry about it." Then she looked straight at Madison, still with that gentle smile, and said, "Actually, Robert and I already paid the bill in advance. We knew we wanted to treat everyone tonight. It's our celebration, after all." And then she added with the sweetest tone, "And Madison, darling, maybe next time don't try that old forgot my wallet trick. I used to do that when I was a broke waitress in my 20s. You're better than that." The table was silent for one long second, and then everyone burst out laughing. My father-in-law chuckled. My husband grinned and squeezed my hand. And Madison? She turned bright red. Her mouth opened, then closed again. She had absolutely nothing to say. The rest of the evening was wonderful. The tension had lifted. I felt so incredibly grateful for my mother-in-law. In that moment, not just for rescuing us, but for doing it with such grace and kindness. Later that night, back at their house, Elizabeth pulled me aside. She told me about her own humble beginnings, how she had worked 3 jobs to put herself through school, how there were years when she and Robert barely scraped by. "That's why we live the way we do now," she said. "But we never forget where we came from. And Amber, I see so much of myself in you. You have grace and strength, and you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just remember that." I will never forget that conversation. And you know what? Ever since that night, Madison has been a little quieter around me. The little digs have stopped. I think she finally realized she couldn't get to me, and that my in-laws saw right through her. So that's my story. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more true stories about life, karma, and the lessons we learn along the way. I'm Amber Wellison, and I'll see you next time.